Welcome to the Lazaro Lab.
Okay. You forgot.
They know who I am. I'm Ryan Lazaro.
And I'm Matt Lazaro. And today we have a special guest, Ryan, because he hasn't been on for a while.
Water.
This is a rare occasion to have Ryan back on.
I got to answer phones, ring up customers.
Fair enough. Ryan does have to actually work most of the time. So I'm out here lollygaggling, pretending to work. But that's, just don't report me to HR.
Too late.
Too late. All right. So, we were talking about a couple of things in regards to why it's so difficult for people to get shit done. Right. Like as a whole, what we know is, especially in what we do, most people have an extreme difficulty with just being consistent or moving forward with anything. And
It's easier to make an excuse
yeah,
while we can't do something.
yeah. And well, I think it all led up to just, we were talking about the specifics of why that happens, or kind of what leads people to stray per se. Because a lot of times most people are able to be fairly compliant for the most part in the beginning. And what happens? What do you think? Well, I mean, in what you see when people talk to you, what do you find?
In what?
We're not listening.
You're not being specific.
What do people talk to you about?
Nothing.
Yeah, they just shut the hell up.
No, it's the typical gun-ho fitness for 1 to 3 months and then definitely fall off after that.
Yeah.
So it's usually, this came up and it messed up my routine. And, what's hard is if your routine is thrown off, I get it. But there's other times of the day you could probably figure it out.
Yeah, routine is probably your best friend, but it's also your worst enemy.
Yep.
Because routine could be a bad routine, which is what most people have, and it's a struggle because they're trying to break that routine per se, and create a new one that's more fruitful or more beneficial. Because the one that they currently have is usually of a detriment to their progress or their health per se, right?
Well, it's a habit they built, and I know if I miss the time I normally work out, sometimes I might just not
You start falling apart.
train at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a trickling effect.
Well, it's just also people postpone things because they want perfect conditions, right?
Yep. I've done that plenty of times. Start Monday.
But it's not just that. I mean, that could be with anything too.
Oh yeah, not only fitness and working and training and diet, but
Yeah.
everyday life decision.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's more common amongst, at least it's more visually common amongst people who are actively trying to lose weight,
Yeah.
right? Like, because their behavior is a reflection of, their thought patterns and things like that. So they're actively not trying or justifying why they're not trying because the circumstances aren't ideal.
Yeah.
I
Or it hurts.
Yeah.
Discomfort.
Discomfort is probably the biggest hurdle a lot of people have to get past, because, doing something, it's easier to do nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't, I think we said it earlier, it doesn't feel good to try to better yourself.
Yeah. Everything that's good for you, everything to an extent that is actually beneficial for your life is usually not.
But
Doesn't
it
feel
makes
good.
you stronger mentally, physically. And then when you come across other obstacles, they seem easier just because you're used to another level of, what would that be called? Another level of,
Well, you adapt, you adjust. It's just not as bad as it was first time. Like first time you run after taking a lot of time off, it's pretty horrible.
Yep.
Second time, still probably fairly horrible for the most part, depending on what you're trying to do. But then it's just a little less horrible, right?
Or a few months later, it's still pretty horrible for me. Getting better.
But there's a good quote there's a quote I remember, and it was about how, basically men with no purpose or people with no purpose will always seek pleasure, right? Like, there's a fly in here. What the hell? Stop. But yeah, I think it was actually by Viktor Frankl. He was a Holocaust survivor. He wrote a few really good books, actually, but I think one of them was called Meaning of Man or something to that degree. But his perspective was really interesting. But that quote, when you have no purpose, all you're seeking is pleasure. I mean, that's literally, that's the definition of like the average American right now, right? Like
so
overeating.
Would you say the people that are addicted to lifting and working out and trying to better themselves,
I don't know if they're addicted. I wouldn't use that word.
A habit, just part of the routine?
Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you getting at with that?
Don't know anymore. You interrupted me.
It sounds like you need some more hydration.
More caffeine.
Yeah. Sponsored by Boom. Tastes like freedom, guys.
America Labs.
America.
Available at Lazard Nutrition.
Yep. Literally, it says America. If you could read that, it's awesome, guys. I feel very patriotic drinking this right now. Anyways, back to our.
It'll come back to me.
Yeah. No, you were saying people addicted to weightlifting or have that routinary built
Yeah,
into them.
it's not there.
Not there yet. Okay,
come back.
Sorry, people. Ryan's a little rusty on this stuff.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, kind of going back to that, it's funny because all the things that people do and seek to do, it's resemblance of our culture. And our culture is a culture without purpose as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the American dream now has no purpose generally, because after generation, there's a disconnect from the 100 years ago where people actually had to struggle to make a living.
It's a lower standard now.
Well, it's easier to live, so you have access to playing video games whenever and however long you want. You have pornography on your phone. You have social media on your phone. You have YouTube, where people spend countless hours just watching it, and it's just it's funny. It's no difference than people that read books and literally don't do anything.
It's funny when people say, "I don't watch TV."
Yeah,
but it's all they're on their Instagram for an hour.
Well, it's
2
probably
hours.
more than that. The funny thing is, if you check your iPhone, you can see how many hours and how many times you pick up your damn phone. Or if you're like me, you literally have to set an actual limiter that prevents you from staying on your phone too long. Because it's a waste of freaking time unless you're being productive. But all of these things are just like this hedonistic feedback of just like constant seeking of pleasure. And
so would you say the people that are training a lot are using that, seeking that as pleasure?
I think some do. I think some are chasing this,
like a high.
Yeah, they're chasing kind of like a high, but those people tend to get stuff done more.
Like pleasure by achieving what they're trying to do.
Probably.
And look a certain way.
Yeah, but there's direction, right? There's direction. There's a goal.
Standard they're trying to reach.
Yeah, rather than just spending countless hours eating and playing video games and watching YouTube. Right? Like
yeah.
Like there's no benefit to that.
At least you're feeling better, looking better.
Yeah, you're not slowly killing yourself with food and whatever else you're doing to yourself. But that's the thing. It's like and then I find it with those people who are really stuck in that rut. Mm-hmm. They have a hard time getting what they call motivated. Right? They're like, I just can't get motivated. But there's a reason for that. And some of the research actually shows is because they're dopamine depleted. So they spend so much time seeking pleasure and giving it to themselves every single time they want it. It's just like someone does something that they think was a positive thing, and instantly it's like, oh, let's go out to celebrate and eat buffet or eat McDonald's or have a drink.
Like, well, that's a normal
alcohol
thing.
Or or take the day off of work, or take the day off of the gym, or there's no discipline, there's no
I was about to
structure.
take the day off yesterday
Oh, what? Oh, the whole day
from
from working.
feeling beat up from the hike.
Oh yeah, that was a bit much.
No, that's just because I got home late. If I would have slept early, it would have been fine.
Well, yeah, you probably only got 5 hours of sleep after that.
Probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, you spent more time hiking,
Driving.
and driving.
Well, not driving, but in the car.
In the
Equal.
car physically, and hiking, and yeah. Lack of sleep deprivation is a hell of a thing. Kind of side note on sleep deprivation, there's been some studies that were pretty cool because they actually showed the groups of people who were trying to lose weight, the people who were getting roughly 8 to 8.5 hours of sleep a night, and the people who were getting 5 to 5.5 hours of sleep per night, were both losing the same amount of weight, right? But the difference was the 8.5 hour group was let me rephrase this. The 5.5 hour group was losing the same amount of weight, but 30% of the weight that they were losing was of muscle.
Oh. Ouch.
Yeah, that's a lot. So from a body composition standpoint, sleep deprivation, we already know it destroys a ton of things. It destroys your ability, protein synthesis, energy,
Cognitive function.
yeah. Oh yeah, your brain just stops working, more or less, right? It's hold on, sorry. It's funny because it's like there's so many things that we do on a day-to-day basis that just make it extremely hard because life is so easy. Like it just you don't have to try hard nowadays to actually just live and be comfortable for the most part.
Yeah, I mean,
This is outside of obviously, people who are living in extreme poverty, which is,
well, even the homeless here never starve.
yeah, that's true. Actually.
I don't know how.
Yeah, well, they got really nice tents too out here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen just pretty much any freeway exit or anywhere where there's
Everywhere.
a canal, or it's pretty crazy, these tent cities
But
that they have built up. But
Managed to make or somehow feed themselves and
they're
other
still overweight.
things. Yeah.
Not all of them, but
No,
it's
yeah.
still it's kind of common.
Large majority.
Yeah, and they're probably, not saying they're all drug addicts, but a lot of them look like it. So it's like they're still financing that part of their life.
Yeah.
There's a funny meme that goes around that says, have you ever seen a crackhead said he has no money to buy crack?
Oh, yeah. You'll never see.
You'll never see a crackhead ever say that he has no
Find
money.
a way to make money
Yeah.
to get it.
But that is the funny thing, is like that driving force, that motivating factor is so strong
Yeah.
and strongly linked to their identity that there is nothing that's going to stop them.
Yep.
Too bad it's crack, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we apply that, right? If we apply
Baby steps and work for a job and whatnot.
I personally think if anyone's struggling, especially if you're a man, right? If you're a man, you're struggling in life and you have no direction, you have no, you're just kind of lost. I think the best thing for you is to be poor, to lose everything, and then have to build everything up from scratch, especially if you have an easy life right now. If you have a roof over your head,
They can.
If you have a
their
car-
definition of easy life is not.
if you have a roof over your head, food in your body, and if you have, a car, if you have all the normal things everyone has,
Yeah.
the best thing that can happen to you is to lose everything, because it's either going to break you or make you into a better man,
Yeah, that's true.
because there's something to work against.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Sense of urgency to make a change, or else.
it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Nah. And I think some people it will get worse. That's the problem. But I think most people want to better themselves at the end of the day,
Yep.
right? Like I would hope so. But one of the other things we were talking about the other day was one of the best ways to find the solution is not to look for the solution, but to identify
The problem.
knowingly the actual problem at hand, right? Like, so I have a few of these things written down. What was the one that I remember? The one in particular. There was one in particular that I said that was really, really, really good.
Was it today or yesterday?
It was probably yesterday. But it's like these are very obvious things, like procrastination. Like I'm just going to start tomorrow, right? Like obviously, if you keep doing that, nothing's going to get done. So the obvious solution is to do the opposite, which is literally just
I
start.
think it was. Well, this is one of them. What would you want to see your employee do, or something like that? Regards, like, what would you want to see? What would you tell your employee to do, or
Like if we were looking at ourselves as employees,
yeah,
would we fire ourselves?
yeah.
Yeah. Some days I would fire myself. Some days I'd give me a raise. Good job. You deserve it. And then tell them they're a piece of crap and do better next time, right?
Just go home.
Yeah, just go home. Shoot, what was it? No, but procrastination is probably one of the bigger things. But I think procrastination in most cases is related to fear. It's not real procrastination. It's not that they don't want to do it. It's
Well,
just that
also
they're worried about the outcome more than anything.
Also realizing you're not going to probably solve it the first day.
Yeah, so like
the biggest problem.
trying and failing, and then just giving up completely. That's what
thinking
most
about.
people do.
Okay, this is what I need to do, but I don't think I could do it in one day, so I'm just going to wait. I was like, well, no, you have to build up to it.
You have to do work every day.
Yeah.
like a little bit. Well, it's just like building muscle. The hardest part about that is being really patient for years. And then when that's funny, when I tell people that, they're like, oh man, like, how am I going to gain like 10 pounds of muscle?
I don't want to get too big.
I wish that was.
It's like, but don't worry. When that happens, you could slow down.
Yeah. If you start I've told people that. I go, hey, don't worry. If that happens, just stop working out and you'll be fine.
When you get to the point, you can just stop and then
you'll be fine. Yeah. But the funny thing is that'll never happen.
Yeah.
And even when people use drugs and they're enhanced, they're still not packing on absurd amounts of muscle. It's just not. You'd be surprised at the sheer amount of people that are using drugs to enhance their physique and strength that don't look like they're doing anything. Is because it's rooted in, they don't have work ethic, they don't have dedication, they're not patient, right? But building muscle is a redundant, easy thing to do, but you just have to be patient.
Yeah. It hurts.
It does hurt.
It's easier to maintain.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. The older I get, I feel like it's getting harder to maintain. But I take pleasure in doing certain things, workout wise, that are not necessarily like, hey, this is for building muscle per se.
Yeah. Well, you recently became a cross country runner, right?
You guys are about to see some violence on this show. Well, you're starting to get that runner's body, Ryan. Your arms are, catching up.
Make
to
sure
your
I
legs.
use them to help me run. Put bands connected to my arms to my leg, pull it forward.
Your biceps and your shoulders be so trash. Well, when your arms are bigger than your legs, I guess you could do that.
It's okay.
Nah, your legs are better. Not a long time ago though, they're not.
Yeah. Oh, they definitely improved.
Yeah.
I mean, they get worked out multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And then now a week, as opposed to before, it'd be like once
a week.
Once a week, and then forget about them for a couple of years.
Yeah. A couple of years.
This happened.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're right though.
So hey, I'm on them all day. Walk around.
Oh man. No, but one of the things I think about, and this was what I was sharing with you earlier, is kind of about fear again, right? And fear overall it's essentially short-term pain. It's temporary, right? But if we add something to that, we say regret, right?
Yeah.
Regret, that is long-term pain. you know, when you regret not doing something, when you regret doing something,
Yeah.
it's long-term pain. So I mean,
yeah.
it's like, that's why you got to be,
People hold on to that forever.
you got to be smart. You know, that's the shoulda, coulda, woulda people, right? Those are the three worst words that you could use in your vocabulary. I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
But you know, that's directly linked to what, you know, the definition of comfort, which is,
Oh, that should be the definition of potential.
yeah, potential is like a backhanded compliment. It really is. Like, you have potential. Like, that means I think you could if you actually tried hard, but you're not going to. So I'm just going to tell you have potential.
But, you know, they can also prove you wrong, and that's good.
Hey, you know what? Growing up though, I was told I had potential a lot, and I'm kind of offended, you know, because
Oh, but you probably turned it around.
eventually, you know, like, I was doing just good enough to say, oh, you have potential to do better. And it's like, huh, I thought that was good. But now that I think back, I'm like, they're basically saying, well, if you weren't as lazy as you are, then you would do better.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that also leads up to things like comfort, right?
Mm-hmm.
You seek comfort, and that's essentially short-term gain. You know,
Yeah.
it's a very short-term thing. Like, this is why it's so easy just to go for the drink, to eat the food, to do whatever it is that you do, watch Netflix, you know, for 8 hours and
Yeah.
or whatever it is. I can't do that. I can't stay up. But then fulfillment is long-term gain.
Yeah.
That is you know, so it's like, if you're willing to make good decisions and deal with fear up front and make better decisions over time, you can avoid regret and actually have fulfillment in life. And
Yeah,
when you
just
have,
don't stop trying.
yeah, like, I can't imagine not doing some of the things that we get to enjoy to do.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine not hiking for 5 hours.
You know, sometimes in the thick of it, it's kind of like, this is stupid. But
Nah, for me, it was, like I said, it was nice to see the scenery and the animals and be out there with everybody, but it was definitely for the workout.
oh god, yeah, we're still suffering 2
But
days
still,
straight.
like, it was mentally feel
It's mental fulfillment.
Stronger.
It's a spiritual fulfillment, arguably. You know, when you actually get out to such a
yeah, I did feel my body release.
that was your stress, your body stressed out beyond belief. Dehydration was kicking in. No, it wasn't that bad.
No, it was. Mentally, I felt amazing. Mentally, I could go another 10 miles. Physically, my calves wouldn't let me.
That's because Ryan's trying to get his calves like his arms, and you know,
Yep.
I don't think hiking will do. Maybe. No, but you know, hiking is interesting. I think you mentioned it last week. Like, it's something that allows people to learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a type of an experience to force them to learn and to react, and it's just something I think everyone should try at least.
Yeah. I mean, help them appreciate what's out there. Everyone takes it all for granted.
Oh God, yeah, for granted.
If you're in Yosemite, yeah.
Yeah, if you're in Yosemite, don't take it for granted. And there's only a handful of people. Yeah, no one really understands why that's funny. Because it's the largest pieces. It's the most dense place of granite rock in all of North America, basically.
Yeah.
That will not be under snow all the time. So anyway, so it's a haven for climbing.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it was pretty interesting that day, though. Like, it's not like it was a technical hike, but we saw all sorts of shit we would never see in one day.
Oh, yeah. Saw a rattlesnake.
A big ass rattlesnake, like, he was probably 4 feet long.
Yeah.
And about as thick as this.
Saw a bear.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just walking below the switchback.
Saw a skink. Red and gold skink. It's a type of lizard.
Mm-hmm.
What else we see? There's always squirrels.
Squirrels always.
Deer's always there.
Yeah, we saw everything that you probably want to see.
Yeah.
You know,
Didn't get to see the mountain lions, but
I mean, by the time you see them, it's already too late. So I don't really want to.
not
see
for me. Just like grab it.
Do you think you can choke one out? He's like,
I'd probably rip my arms off, but
I mean, one maybe that. What if it weighed like 120 rather than 200?
I have to get on
You
it
can
for
get
the
behind
straddle
it.
it,
Yeah, if you can get behind
even
it.
then, I don't know.
Because my cat, he's only like
they could turn around.
he's like
fast.
14 pounds, and I feel like if he's that strong, if something's like 100 pounds more, you just grab him by the neck like this. You know how they just freeze when you grab him by the scruff?
It'll probably just be like, oh,
Yeah, just lose a chunk of your jaw.
yeah.
I think if 3 or 4 of us attacked it, we could take one down. But one
someone's
of
gonna
us
get hurt.
One person's probably gonna
Gotta-
die.
Well, you know what to expect if you come out with this.
Yeah, I don't recommend it. You'll just be stressed out all the time.
We're gonna have to fight it.
Because we don't take anything too serious. Oh, and we saw a giant rock slide that took out all the switchbacks.
No, yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
It was really crazy, actually. The rock slide had to have happened within a pretty short period of time from when we were going down. Like
Yeah,
it
it
was-
either happened when we were on the top or going down.
And if you're not familiar with a switchbacks are just basically
like zigzag.
the zigzag trails that go up, and they're about as wide as this table, maybe a little wider sometimes. But the rocks that fell
Or as big as the
were
table.
as big as the table, and pieces
the
of
trees.
trees were blown up,
Yeah.
literally exploding.
Big old rock landslide. Just
And it took out like 6 or 7 switchbacks,
At
which
least.
is which
it's a lot.
it's a lot. Like we're talking in
It's like
terms
it goes
of
from the top and then
yeah, maybe a total of 100 feet of descent in total. Because by the time we still were going down,
Yeah.
where there was maybe a mile left, there was still debris.
Yeah. You can see like fresh cracked rock, open asphalt, have dents in it.
Yeah, like those things would destroy a car.
Yeah.
Imagine. I hope no one was
I don't know.
there. I'm pretty certain.
It's kind of hard to believe they're not being for that whole little stretch.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I haven't read any reports, so I was looking stuff up about it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty bad.
but anyways, yeah. So what are some of the common questions that people are coming in with recently in terms of products and supplements?
Bigger, stronger, faster.
Is that no?
No, it's more based on how can I recover faster? How can I feel better? What do I need to do to increase my protein intake? How to reduce muscular fatigue?
It's interesting though. Like I remember back in the day, there was only 2 things people cared about: is just get
Get big
as hell, or just
or lose weight.
or be like as skinny as possible.
Yeah, weight loss is a common one as well. But by far, surprisingly, the ones for feeling better
Yeah.
and performing better.
Do you think the feeling better stuff is related to the age demographic, or does it seem to be across the board?
It's everybody.
Like even the younger people in their 20s, right? Yeah.
There's bad habits though. So it's not like I tell them the supplements are going to help, but you need to change your
Yeah.
habits. You need to sleep more. You need to eat more protein, drink more water, be more active because that actually
Moving
helps
a
feel
lot.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's all the basic recommendations from having them take protein to creatine to amino acids, taking greens.
Yeah. I do find that it's funny. Like you can kind of like, if you ask good enough questions, you'll always find the answer, because it, like you mentioned about, they're more like lifestyle things, more or less. Like why? It's almost like if someone says, "Man, I always have a headache," and you find out they're always hitting their head, but for some reason they don't
Realize
see that, they don't see the problem. It's that they're actually
Yeah.
inflicting on themselves.
Yeah, everyone, like a phone call I got earlier was, man, I don't feel good. I'm bloated. I'm not losing weight. And I think, they seek recommendations from me, but they kind of know the problem, but they want me
Yeah.
to tell them,
Yeah.
like, reassure them what the problem is.
There's a saying: it's people need to people need more time being reminded rather than taught. That's really what it is, and it's like they seek people like us because I'm not gonna change my answer. You're not gonna change your answer based on anything except the facts.
Yeah.
like it just And what did it end up being?
Oh, I mean, he said he's maybe drinking like 16 ounces of water a day, or even less. Yeah.
What?
He was only consuming, the only water was whatever he did for his shakes. That was it. Not even with the food.
Huh?
And taking,
How long has he been doing that?
17 days.
What?
Yeah.
Probably kidneys are shutting down. And
After a hiatus from being in Vegas for a month. So I was like, well.
he hasn't been dehydrated for like 6 weeks
Yeah.
now.
So
Or
I said
hasn't been
it's gonna take a long time to, kind of come back.
Oh.
He's like, we have been doing this for 3 weeks. Like, I don't see
Like,
no
I don't
change.
see no change,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
well,
Oh man, that's
there's
true.
always a reason why.
There is. It's funny because the basics are always what everyone needs, and everyone always, it's like I had a guy tell me, he started losing weight and it was going well, and I'm like, yeah, let's keep doing this and showing them how to create some variety so they're not completely bored, and because that's my thing. It's like if you can't envision yourself eating the way you currently are for the next decade, it's not the right way to. It's definitely not the right way to eat. If you can't,
Long time.
yeah, but if you can't keep doing that for a decade, why fucking do it now? It doesn't make any sense, right? And so it's like, even though he was consistently losing weight, a few pounds a week, it's like, well, maybe it's time I should like cut out my carbs and speed it up, right? It's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like,
Speed it up, and then you're gonna.
yeah, you're gonna go followed by a
Yeah.
increase.
Like, oh,
in-
that was too much. Oh.
yeah, that's the. I think that's human nature. It's like even when things are going well, even when things are working, people
Want
are
more.
still- yeah, well, they always think that there's something better.
Yeah, but like whatever you're doing is working.
Yeah, why change it?
Nice, steady, consistent
Yeah.
results.
Well, that's and convincing them that that's the only way.
Well, there's too much stuff out there saying, hey, you could do this, you could do that. You can look at me in 30 days.
Oh God. We
Not
should
true,
just start
but-
telling people that, like, hey, you'll have Ryan's arms if you take this product for 30 days.
It'll work for a while until
Well-
they don't have it.
Well, just keep telling them you got to keep trying 30 more days. In just 30 more days after your 30 days, and then that's honest.
Yeah.
If it's just a continuing, no, you got to do another
Yeah.
30 days until it's done.
Yeah.
You
A
know?
little subscription. No.
I hate, I cannot stand those stupid 30-day challenges, workout challenges, or something like that. It's like, come on. How about we try? Hey, let's be consistent for 6 months. That's a hard one.
Yeah. Well, because what they'll end up doing is halfway through, like, you know what? I'm going to step it up. But by doing that, it backfires because they're overextending themselves
Yeah.
rather than just,
Going with the flow.
yeah.
Well, but I would argue that it's because they're not focusing on the actual positive things that are actually changing, that are not related to whatever the end goal is.
Yeah.
Right. Like you have to find all these things in between to at least have some confirmation things
Yeah.
are working.
But they won't, whatever they did gain, they won't know until they lost it.
yeah.
And they're like, oh man, I didn't know I was
I didn't know it
feeling
wasn't
that good or
yeah.
lifting that much or had this much endurance until it's gone.
Well, most people don't know how it feels to feel good until they actually feel bad again. Or most
Oh
people
yeah, because
don't.
I just feel like it's normal. Like
Yeah.
whatever I do is
Yeah. Well, also, most people don't realize how shitty they feel until they actually feel better. And now you have a way of, People always tell me like, "Oh, I feel fine." I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh my goodness,
Oh, that's how I'm supposed to feel?
like there's a big difference."
Yeah. No, there's a lot of people I know in denial, like, oh, I only need 4 hours of sleep.
Oh, my
I can
God.
function. That's good. Whatever, blah, blah. But I was like,
Or they say, "Oh, I feel tired if I sleep 7 hours." Like okay, that's not why you're tired.
it's in denial.
It's because your circadian rhythm is off, though.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, you
That's,
do it long enough and then you'll feel phenomenal. When I was getting 7 hours of sleep, that was amazing.
yeah, it's the best. You're not right now? No. Shame on you. You're a bad person.
Busy working all night.
Yeah, I doubt that. We got 10 hours in the daytime to get that shit done. I do not want to work at night. Oh man, that's terrible. But yeah, man, like that's so okay. So in terms of performance, I think performance and recovery go hand in hand, right?
Yes.
Like I kind of have my personal favorites in terms of supplements that help me personally. Personally, I think creatine for one. I think it does wonders. Right? There's
I'm surprised not everyone's tried it already. It's been around forever.
60 something years, pretty freaking long, or almost 60 years, maybe in the 50s or something.
I actually think there's some people that are in their 50s that have barely started, actually.
Well, it's a good time to start actually,
Yeah.
since they've never really experienced it. But creatine works great. Total recovery. I even notice a cognitive effect. Like I feel there's more mental clarity, and I think one thing that goes underlooked in terms of general recovery is actually supplementing enough fish oil.
Yes.
Well, it's primarily because there's EPA and DHA in there, and those specific triglycerides or fatty acids will help specifically with certain inflammatory markers in the body, or just it helps navigate the ability to experience the inflammation and then put out the fire faster.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's like it doesn't prevent inflammation. It allows the rebound effect to happen much more quickly. And all of our cells are, the membranes have fatty acids, and specifically DHA, I believe, is the one that correlates to having the health of the actual cell
Yeah.
be the correct plasticity. So you don't want like this highly gelatinous, cell, and you don't want this super hard cell. You want them to be just right. And so this is where it may actually be why the health of the red blood cell in terms of that may make them less likely to stick. So you're less likely to be risk factors for blood clots, like brain aneurysm, stroke, heart attack, and things like that go down. But generally that 2 grams a day. And some people will ask me about krill oil, and I know it's popular with a bunch of people, but I used it for a while and I stopped because krill oil still does not have a high enough ratio of the EPA and DHA. So, the sheer dosage, like one of the more common ones people always talk about is the one from Costco. And they're like, yeah, I take this. It's only a couple pills a day. And it is a different type of fatty acid. It's what we call a phospholipid. So there's a different attachment to the lipid, so it helps with certain conversion rates of certain fats in the body, but it still does not have enough EPA, DHA, and to my understanding, they tend to go rancid. And so with a big company like that,
you get a ton.
well, and the problem is I see their bottles and they're see-through, and so if you ever buy a bottle of fish oil that
Is it clear or is it brown or red?
it's not even tinted. And if it's not tinted and if it's not completely getting rid of all the light, it's going to be rancid. So this is why, like the fish oils we have, they're what we call a triglyceride form with 2 grams of the EPA DHA combo.
Yeah.
In just the right amount that correlates to the actual research. So plus anecdotally, I feel like it works.
Yeah.
And then my clients feel like it works. But me, creatine, fish oils, and collagen.
Oh yeah. I've been on the collagen fix as well.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks about collagen is my hair grows too fast.
I just keep shaving it.
Well, I don't know why you don't grow your hair out. You have nice hair.
Yeah,
It's like mine.
too lazy.
That's true. But the reason why collagen actually helps, especially when you supplement it with vitamin C, is it helps with the repairing of some of the soft tissue after training. And in particular, most people don't have enough glycine in their diet because we're not eating bones and shit, bone marrow. We're not eating tendons and things like that.
I do.
Well, how? Whatever, right? You liar. I mean, you could if you're gonna be like that dude, Liver King.
Just blend it up and drink it.
You've done that in the past. This food was blending. What was it? Chicken, rice, and
Salad.
salad.
Well, that's because I had a tooth problem, but I still wanted gains.
You drank it though. That's so disgusting. Yeah, hey, you gotta do what you want to do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
You want to lose muscle mass?
Yeah. True. But anyway, so my those are my three favorites personally. It's going to be collagen fish oil and creatine. I mean, I use a whole bunch of other things for other reasons, but those are three specific to, in my opinion, performance. What are your favorites?
I do take the creatine, protein, collagen. I have on and off used the PA7, which works tremendously well for strength and muscle density.
If you're not sure what that is, it's a mTOR signaler.
Yeah.
And mTOR is the signal that you get to help with protein synthesis to help the body build muscle tissue. But it also is linked to increasing total strength output too. So it's pretty awesome.
Which explains a lot. That's why.
Well,
I don't know why he just doesn't take it.
You mean
No.
you're trying to catch up? He's trying to catch up. He's not saying that he's stronger.
I don't have to say. I can just show you.
You know what? You shut your mouth. We can't. I have an injury in my shoulder, so that's the only reason your bench is better.
Yeah. Bench, squat, deadlift.
Whoa. Okay, well, now you're going too far. I'll give you the pressing. You ain't pulling or squat more than me right now.
No.
Anyways.
But yeah, those are my main staples.
Yeah.
Everything else, time to time, I'll take amino acids. Like the ones we have a little bit of electrolytes, and I'll just sip on that throughout the workout.
Yeah.
But those are the basic staples, really. I don't really do.
Well, we use caffeine too.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I don't take drugs.
You are drugs.
No, I do consume 200 milligrams of caffeine upon waking up. So
Yeah. I drink a fair amount of caffeine.
you drink way more than me.
I probably get like 500 milligrams
Yeah.
a day.
But even that's low considered to other people.
Oh
we know.
God, people are getting like grams.
Gram.
1 gram, 1.5.
Yeah, no, it's too much.
Yeah, guys, don't overdo the caffeine. It's not. There is a limiting factor, meaning there's only so much it can actually do. So the way caffeine actually helps you not feel tired is which is funny that we take it in the morning because that's the time that you don't really need it because
Well, that's a bad habit now.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But the things that make you feel tired are called adenosine, and there's these receptors that they fill up. And what caffeine does is it prevents the adenosine from actually binding to the receptor. So it prevents you from feeling like you're tired. So there's an increase in cognition and things like that. Obviously, it helps with like norepinephrine, epinephrine, and things like that, which are your catecholamines that help with your energy production overall. But the main thing it does is it prohibits you from feeling tired. It doesn't actually give you energy more as much as it prevents you from feeling tired.
So people that may consume too much caffeine when they are trying to reduce their intake, is their body like just addicted to that response?
Yeah, there is an addictive property to it, but there's a limiting factor. So there's only so much caffeine you can benefit from anyways.
Gotcha.
Completely. And it's just anything after that, it's kind of pointless. It's kind of funny, but we just keep.
Yeah. Well, most of it tastes good now.
Yeah, that's a problem because if you want to taste freedom found here at Lazaro Nutrition, America Energy.
Freedom is not free.
It is not. It's $3 for this. Red, white, and boom. I'm gonna call them and tell them they just sponsored our podcast today.
I'd like a free case.
Yeah, I want specifically the freedom flavor. Okay.
Is it better than the pineapple?
I like them both. I kind of like the pineapple
Or
better.
the Daytona Beach?
Yeah, these names are awesome. I feel very patriotic drinking this. I feel like I need to put up a flag right here.
We probably should have a
I know.
flag.
We have the biggest flag in the gym though that I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. If you guys haven't seen it, we'll post.
yeah. It was
We'll make
30 feet.
30-foot flag.
Is it 30 by 30?
I'm pretty sure
It
it
looks
is.
like a square. That's why it's
Yeah,
not like a.
it's not a rectangle like a real flag, but it's good enough. It is a real flag, but
Yeah.
anyways, I think that that concludes our podcast. I think we're gonna have to start getting back to work. Got people coming in.
Yep.
But thank you for joining. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you like and subscribe on whatever is your favorite channel. Make sure you follow us on social media on Instagram and Facebook. And if you need help with your health and fitness or supplements, make sure you reach out. And if your friends need help, tell them too bad. No, I'm just joking.
Send them over.
All right. Peace out.